It is the considered opinion of the Finance Committee that the group accident insurance proposal will serve as a potent revenue catalyst that will motivate majority, if not all, our members to pay their dues. As indicated above, the insurance proposal would make it possible for the Finance Committee to raise substantial revenues for the party. This will then pave the way for the party to enroll other more expensive policies, such as life insurance policies that can address the chronic health conditions of some party members. Going forward, Mr. Chairman, conference delegates, it will be helpful if we all commit to paying our dues to enable the party run smoothly. If conference is to ensure that Article 3(4)(b) of our Constitution is enforced, the party can realize substantial amounts of money from our membership dues mobilization. That said, Mr. Chairman, may I at this juncture present to conference a summary of our audited financial statement. These statements have been audited by the party's external auditors and have been reviewed and approved by the National Chairman, the General Secretary, and the National Treasurer. In the year 2020, the total revenue mobilized by the party was 72,692.97 Ghana cedis. And this was mobilized from a combination of dues, fundraising activities, nomination and filing fees, among other streams of revenue. The total expenditure for that same year was 73,125,471, and the expenditure covered office administration, the communications, training and operations, meeting expenditure, campaign-related and election-related activities. In the year 2023, the total revenue mobilized was 107,975,071 Ghana cedis. Also from donations, nomination and filing fees, membership dues, fundraising activities, and other revenue streams for the party. In that same year, a total of 110,090,614 was spent on office administration, communications, internal elections and by-elections, audit and meeting expenditure, and party campaign and organizational activities. In the year 2024, a total amount of 113,907,252 was mobilized by the Treasury for the party. In that same year, a total of 114,097,641 was spent by the party in organizing party-related activities, including training and operations, meeting expenditure, election and election-related activities, office administration, and communications. Mr. Chairman, conference delegates, these financial returns had to be filed at the Electoral Commission within specific time periods in order not to breach the provisions of Act 574. Due to the fact that there were no national annual delegate conferences in 2023 and 2024, these statements could not be tabled before you for approval prior to filing. The National Chairman, the General Secretary, and the National Treasurer jointly acted on behalf of conference to avoid breaches of Act 574. I am therefore seeking the retrospective approval of conference to ratify the decisions taken on behalf of the National Annual Delegates Conference by the National Chairman, the General Secretary, and the National Treasurer. I thank you for your audience and wish all of us a successful conference. Thank you.
For your report. Now, conference, a quick roll call. I need you all to be active. Yeah, Babobo regions, you know. Says ya de ahaya ma yenye de kesia pa. Upper East, Munsora, wake up, Upper East, rise up to your feet. Thank you very much. Upper East. Upper West, where are you? Anthony Namo and your people. Thank you very much. The Vice President's region. Northeast, are you here? Northeast, are you here? Thank you very much. Northern region. Northern region. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chairman Samba and your people. Now to Savannah region. Prof. Kalimonia and your people. Savannah region. Great to have you here. Yadamwase. Ave Yanko. Bono East region. Chairman Ivy, Bono East region. Thank you. Ave Yanko, Kwame Bafu Abronya region. Bono region, where are you? Thank you very much. Western North, Chairman Ben Ama and your people, where are you? Western North. Great to have you here. Yadamwase. The President's region, Eastern region, show your presence, where are you? Eastern region, show your presence, where are you? Thank you. That is the President's region. Chairman Jeff Kunedu and your people, we thank you very much. To Oti region, Chairman Dapa and your people. Chairman Evans Dapa and your people, thank you very much. Oti region, we can see you. Great to have you in here. Chairman Makafui Wanya, Volta region. Thank you very much. I like the energy. Thank you very much. Western region. The best come from the west. Western region. Chairman Indonesia and your people, where are you? Thank you very much. Now to Central region. Percy Dennis Kwaku and your people. Central, where are you? Thank you very much. We can feel you. Thank you. Now to the heartbeat of the New Patriotic Party, Ashanti region. Chairman Wantoma and your people. Thank you very much. Now to the host region. Chairman Divine Otu Agohom and your people. Greater Accra, let us show your energy. America! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The National Treasurer just delivered our financial report. All those in favor of the motion, can I hear a big aye? All those who are not in favor, can I hear no? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. The report is adopted.
Thank you, conference. God bless us all.
Now, let's call for the party anthem to warm us up. Anytime you hear the party anthem, all must be on your feet. Thank you. All of us must be on our feet.
And now we shall listen to fraternal messages from other political parties. The first party here, a delegation led by the General Secretary, Citizen Atudazi, is the Great Consolidated Popular Party, GCPP. He is joined by Madam Cynthia Atta, his second vice, and Mr. George Amwa, the national organizer. The delegation from the Great Consolidated Popular Party, GCPP.
Krudu, Chairman of Congress, kindly permit me to stand on existing protocols to bring you greetings from the only party in Ghana that has stayed true to the ideals and values of its concept of domestication, the Great Consolidated Popular Party. Our 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Daniel Augustus Latte Jr., also extends his heartfelt greetings to you all. Let me begin by congratulating the organizing committee for a great work done so far. Today marks a very important journey in the life of the NPP. Your conduct and decisions today will determine whether the party will continue a sinking path or change the trajectory as a formidable and united party which is determined to win power once again. Just as many Ghanaians, how a party moved from the battle is the Lord's to Mayekuntain, I would say, or Sisifianibi is a mystery. However, it is refreshing to know that the party, through its own internal mechanisms, has realized the
All right, welcome back. And we're current live the NPP annual National Delegates Conference that's currently ongoing at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. And you had pictures coming up from there. We've had some bit of challenges with connectivity in there, and that's being worked on. When we get the signals out, once again, we'll take you back there to continue with that particular coverage. This is GBC News. We're also live on the internet at gbcghanaonline.com, on Facebook. It's Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Now, everything is set and ready, and it's currently going on at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. But I guess they're still here with us. I have Loratu Musasaka, who is a member of the NPP communication team, and then I also have Kojo Isiama Ado, who is a governance and political analyst, and we've been talking about some of the recommendations in there, within the motions in there, and some of the amendment that is expected to go on. If everything goes well, I mean, they're going to have about 56 of these amendments that have been recommended, which will take effect. And if that happens, this is going to change a lot of things for the New Patriotic Party, as they're expected to make some changes in their constitution. But also, there's an interesting one too on, I think, Motion 10. Motion 10, that says that Articles 710 and then 97, amend Articles 710 and 97 of the Constitution to prevent party officers who get appointed into government from continuing to hold their national offices. The reasoning behind that is that party officers who are appointed into government shall not be allowed to hold dual positions. So long as they have accepted the appointment to serve in government, they should focus on their mandate in government and give opportunity for others or other competent party members to occupy their position in the party. It is also in line with the provision in Clause 10 of the Article 7 and then Clause 7 of Article 9, which are intended to ensure that the government appointees do not hold constituency, regional and national executive offices. That's an interesting one. So
it's a fair motion.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay.
You know, because government positions go beyond party interest.
Yeah,
right.
that's
So
true.
you can't
Hold the two.
behold the two. It's not like being a member of parliament and being a minister that is enshrined in our constitution. And also it's the same focus. The moment you become a member of parliament, you're serving the whole constituency at the national level, even though you go on the ticket of a party, a political party, because you need to be sponsored by a political party. It's just as if you are going for presidential.
Yes.
You become a president for the nation, not just for the New Patriotic Party or the party that sponsored you. But as a party executive, your interest, your agenda is the supreme interest of the party. And you have to be a check on the government you sponsored. So you can't be in there and also be the check. It doesn't work. I think it's a fair. Okay. And also to give opportunities to others. It's just fair.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't be loading one person with a lot of responsibilities when they are equally competent people who can step in.
Okay. Yeah, for years now, political parties in Ghana, we narrow down to the NPP and the NDC. What they've been doing is that if you're a party executive, when you have the opportunity to serve the good people of Ghana, you either on a board, you are drafted in as a presidential staffer, you are given certain positions so that at least they know that you also have some group of people who depend on you. Then you can also
just
support
to cut
them.
in, boards are not necessarily appointments per se.
Boards.
I mean, you're appointed on it, but you don't have, you're just more like doing strategic direction. You don't have a day-to-day.
Oh yes, exactly.
So I don't think this should apply to board.
That I am aware. That I am aware. But what I'm saying is that we should be able to separate governance from party issues, and there should be people whose everyday job is to make sure that the party is running. Running. Concurrently with the government, but they do not have that influence in government. So that those who are also appointed as ministers, deputy ministers, ambassadors would also have focus and know that this is what I'm doing. Because listen, these are two different things altogether. One, you want to touch base with party loyalists and faithfuls who you know that you share the same ideology with. But immediately you transcend into a transition into an appointee, a minister, you become a figure for all, a national figure. So even your body, your conduct, your choice of words, and how you are able to fashion out your thoughts, strategically or otherwise, should have that all-encompassing mindset to know that I am leading a nation, a cross-section of people in a nation. So if you have that double role, it becomes very, very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. But the question is, I have had issues and people have complained that, hey, when the party becomes a government, sometimes the government dictates to the party as to what is supposed to be done. I.e., now the president, whether the vice president, the chief of staff, who is a key member of the party, and then some other few people, cabinet ministers. Even we have a point where general secretaries and chairmen, particular party chairmen, are part of cabinet meetings. They attend cabinet meetings as well to know what is going on. So at least they can also have
the party.
acknowledged. Austria, Belgium, Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, Finland, you are here, France, Germany, Holland, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Nigeria, Norway, Middle East, Qatar, Senegal, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Togo, United Kingdom, USA, Czech Republic, Hong Kong, and Russia. All our 30 external branches, you are duly welcome to this conference. Kukudu! Kukudu! Again, to all our National Council members of elders, we acknowledge your presence. We thank you very much for this occasion. Again, let me acknowledge some important personalities. The MP for Bosomche, former Minister Education, he contributed to the success of this event. Honorable Yao Edichum is here with us. We thank you. Again, MP for Abetifi, former Minister in charge of Agriculture. Honorable for Abetifi, former Minister in charge of Agriculture. Honorable Brian Agyapong, thank you very much for your support. We also have our own engineer, former General Secretary, Agyapong, also here with us. Our respected elder, Mr. Boachi Agyapong, is also here with us. We again acknowledge and the effort, the support, the contribution of the former MP for Assin Central, Openia Waya MP da Ewa Assin Central, and Bebre. Honorable Kennedy Akomprako Agyapong, Honorable, thank you very much for your support. Conference is grateful for your massive support. Thank you very much. Let's also acknowledge the effort, the support, the phenomenal contribution of the former Vice President of the Republic, the former presidential candidate 2024, and his spouse, His Excellency Al-Hajj Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. We thank you very much for your support. Kukudu! Kukudu!
Don't just stand there and watch.
Let me also acknowledge the presence and support of the former Energy Minister, the former running mate, Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh. We thank you very much for your presence and support. We also acknowledge the support and contribution of the first ever female chief of staff, our own mom,
Mr. William Ano, Mr. Kwesi Ameyao, and Miss Emanuela Sesi. The delegation is led by Mr. Jerry Owusu, who is the General Secretary of the Liberal Party of Ghana. Let's give them a round of applause. LPG, you are welcome.
Good afternoon. When we say LPG, you respond Yankonkwa. And when you hear LPG for the second time, you respond Someha, na Someha, na Yankonkwa. LPG! Yankonkwa! LPG! Someha, na Someha, na Yankonkwa! Mr. Chairman,
the former president, J.A. Kufuor, the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former vice president, Dr. Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia, and all protocols duly observed. We bring you greetings from the Liberal Party of Ghana. Mr. Percival Kofi Apalu would have loved to be here himself, but
duty calls elsewhere. Our national chairperson also wishes everybody well. NPP, this is not the first time being in an opposition. We know you've been responsible opposition party, and we know you continue to be responsible. This day is a great day.
We are wishing you well. We wish the conference ends smoothly so everybody goes home safely. There is something happening in the country, and as an opposition party, we are concerned, very worried, as we allowed a party denigrate a former government, said all manner of lies about the former government. Things are happening now. Things are really happening now. And I'm urging NPP as the major opposition party to stand up, because people lied against you and your appointees. I have not heard anything about what is really happening with Delight funding from the National Cathedral that the NDC intend calling it National whatever Cultural Center. a lot of eminent members, their images were tarnished. And we sit aloof and watch while Deloitte said they have not done anything wrong. They did not spend any Ghana's money. What are we doing as opposition parties? We need to rise.
The people lie, and they are now putting Ghanaians in captivity. Asofo ayegu manimase, especially Asofo Victor Kusi, Papa fa NDC for one nature omo na omo nim dia na omo ye. I know from today NPP is going to stop Natiu Macau and all those stuff and start fighting for Ghana. We are all in politics fighting for our mother Ghana. So if we sit aloof and point fingers at ourselves and watch NDC and the government put us into captivity, where are we going as a nation? I am urging everybody here. We have the voice. Let us not be afraid of what happened at Ablekuma. Not. Let's not be frightened. The voice of the people is the voice of the Lord. We will match them as opposition parties, and we will not be afraid. They might have whatever number, they might think of whatever they intend doing, but will not materialize. Let's not forget what they are doing with our Chief Justice. We need to be more vocal. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make it a great nation and a strong one. Yadam Wasim.
Thank you so much for the message. And finally, we are the new patriotic party. We are a center-right ideological party. And we are supported here today by the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung and the Christian Democratic Union from Germany. We welcome on stage Anna Vasefov, the country representative of Konrad, and Dr. Joseph Damo, the program director, as they give us their well-wish message.
Your Excellencies, honored dignitaries, and party members from all over Ghana, it is with great pride that I stand here before you today to reaffirm the heartfelt cooperation between NPP and Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, or KAS in short, a German political foundation that is committed to the fostering of democratic and political exchange across countries, and that has been active in Ghana since 60 years. Our collaboration with NPP spans decades and is built on a common foundation: the belief in democratic participation for every citizen, the power of a market-orientated economy that allows prosperity for everybody, and the responsibility of the state for its people. We are honored to support the vision of NPP, a vision of a Ghana where opportunities, freedom, and dignity are not privileges, but the right of every citizen. All over the world, we are currently navigating challenging times where trust in institutions is increasingly under pressure. In both Ghana and Germany, we are called to find new ways to remain responsive to the everyday concerns of our citizens, be it jobs, education, security, or social democratic forces across continents. As we look ahead, let us continue to stand together, CAS and NPP, in pursuit of a common goal, a democratic future marked by peace, by prosperity, and the well-being of all people. Thank you very much.
And with that, we come to the end of the messages from all our well-wishers. Thank you, Conrad Adenauer Stiftung and the Christian Democratic Union. Next, we have messages from internal personalities. I hand over now to my co-MC, the interesting, amazing Henry Nanabuachi.
Thank you very much. Kukudu! Kukudu! Of the New Patriotic Party, your General Secretary, my General Secretary, everybody's General Secretary, lawyer, Justice Frimpong Kodia is the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Kukudu! 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 Chairman for conference, our revered acting Vice Chairman, Chairman Dankwa Smith-Bute, Your Excellencies, the former President J. Kufuor, and former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Your Excellency, the former Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mohamedou Bawumia, and your spouse, Her Excellency Hajia Samira Bawumia, members of steering committee, members of National Executive Committee, members of National Council, our dear delegates of the annual Delegates Conference, our revered minority leader, our members of Parliament, our revered National Council of Elders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to present the state of our party to delegates. We went into our elections in 2024. Our hope, our prayer was for us to win the elections. But as the will of God is not the will of man, we couldn't win the elections. After our defeat, the party never sat down.
party, through National Council, the second highest decision-making body of the party, constituted a committee referred to as the Elections Review Committee, chaired by Professor Aaron Michael Quay, to go around the country to inquire from the rank and file of our party and to ascertain the reasons why we couldn't win the elections in 2024. The committee completed their work and reported to the National Council somewhere in April. The committee made several recommendations, some involving amendment to our constitution. And based on that, the National Council, which is the Professor Aaron Michael Quay's committee to look for proposals in 2021 where we met in Kumasi, to also receive proposals from our external branches. The committee completed their work, and in line with Article 19 of our Constitution, we are here today to look at the proposals that were submitted to the Amendment Committee, which has been grouped into motions, which is made up of 56 motions for National Delegate Conference to take decisions on the motion. Today we are gathered here as National Delegate Conference, but it's important that we also, just as the National Treasurer said, just as the National Organizer also said, to show our esteemed appreciation to some personalities who made it possible for us to meet today at conference. Indeed, the party is extremely grateful to our former Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Bamia, for the massive support he gave to us to be able to organize this conference. With a round of applause, let's show appreciation to the former Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Bamia. Again, we also want to show our deepest appreciation to our former Member of Parliament, Asen Central, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, for the massive contribution he also made it possible for our conference to come on. We are also grateful to our MP for Abetifi, Honorable Brian Agyapong, for also making significant contribution for us to be able to hold this conference, and also MP for Bosonche constituency, Honorable Educhum. We are also very grateful. The Finance Committee, we are grateful for the support, the work that you did. Madam former Chief of Staff, we are also very grateful for the work that you did for us. Ladies and gentlemen of Congress, today marks the beginning of our quest, of our journey of recapturing power in 2028. We are going to undertake today. And I plead with conference that whatever decision that we are supposed to take today, do not look at individuals, do not look at personalities, but look at the interests of the New Patriotic Party. As National Council took several decisions, I report to conference that the National Council, after several deliberations, several engagements, several consultations, have come and given the directive that on January 31st, 2026, the party shall hold its presidential primaries. And we know it is something that is fully supported by conference. It is for good reasons that as a party, as we prepare for the 2028 elections, we need to quickly do away with all our internal elections so that we will have enough time to unite as a party and prosecute the agenda of winning the elections in 2028. Ladies and gentlemen of the conference, the party not long ago also established what we refer to as the Patriotic Institute. And the Patriotic Institute is a game changer for our party. An institute that is going to train, give orientation to all the rank and file of our party, for us to appreciate and understand the history of our party, our ideology, and also to equip our communicators on how to communicate effectively and discern our information to the whole country. Not long ago, the National Executive Committee of the party, they satisfied with the decision by the Electoral Commission to do a rerun in some 19 polling stations in Agyapong North, decided to boycott the whole election process. And as the party took their decision, it was done for good reasons. Because National Executive Committee, upon all the information, the evidence that was adduced at NEC, came to the firm conclusion that indeed the NPP had won the elections at Agyapong North. We had all our scam copies of our pin sheets in the 281 polling stations, which gave us a clear winning of 414 votes. And therefore, we were surprised that the Electoral Commission decided to call for a rerun. On principle, we felt that it was a wrong decision and it's a bad precedent being set by the Electoral Commission. And this is very dangerous for our future politics and future elections. Ladies and gentlemen of Congress, one area that the party is very, very, very serious about is discipline in our party. Let us all understand that today we are national officers of the party, we are members of parliament, we are members of council of elders, but people have occupied these positions before. And therefore, those who have intentions of aspiring to lead the party, be it as flag bearer, be it as national officers, we must understand that our individual interests cannot override the supreme interest of the New Patriotic Party. And therefore, any person who has any intention to lead our party must respect the structures of our party and must respect authority of the New Patriotic Party. I call on you, conference, that the party has clearly given directives. And until we officially open nominations for aspirants or aspiring aspirants to go around the country to convince and talk to the rank and file of our party, let us continue to deny people from coming to our regions and our constituencies. Because we must be a disciplined party, and anyone who wants to lead the party must also exhibit discipline. Today, as I indicated, is going to pave the way for us to have victory in 2028. And as a party, we must look each other in the eye and remember who we are. We are not broken. We are not defeated. Neither have we lost. We are builders. We are dreamers. We are fighters. We are servants of the Ghanaian people. So I ask you today, what is our purpose? Why do we gather here? Why do we wear the blue, red, and white colors of this party with pride? It is because we believe. We believe in development, in freedom. We believe in responsibilities. We believe in enterprise. We believe in the future of Ghana. Ghana needs us. The youth are watching us. The farmers are watching us. The traders are watching us. Let us fight as one body with one identified vision and ambition to make sure that this abysmal performance from the NDC government, Ghanaians are looking for alternatives. and Ghanaians want to come back to NPP. Ghanaians know that our government offers the better solutions to their problems. But at the end of the day, they want to vote for an opposition party that is ready for power. And therefore, actions, inactions that seeks to divide us, that bring acrimony, that bring tension to us, needs to be relegated so that Ghanaians will see us as a proper, responsible, and viable opposition party that will wrestle them from the misery that they are going under the watch of His Excellency John Mahama and the NDC government. Ghanaians are asking the NDC questions. Ghanaians are asking President John Mahama, you promised us that you are going to reset the country for the better. You made noise about Galamsey in Ghana. You got certain civil society groups to come after our administration under His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Today, what is the state of Galamsey in Ghana? To the extent that in his own backyard, in his own constituency, Galamsey is everywhere, Galamsey there, Galamsey where, Galamsey everywhere in Bale Bamboy constituency. President Mahama, Ghanaians are also asking you, what is the position of the NDC on the LGBTQ bill? You have gone silent on it, and Ghanaians are asking questions. Religious bodies are asking questions. That the promise that you made, that when you come into government, you will pass the bill. We are waiting for you. And again, Ghanaians are asking you that we are suffering with your D-levy. The hardship on us is something which is very unbearable. And Ghanaians are asking questions on your government. Ghanaians never knew that your research meant mass terminations of appointments. People who have worked in government institutions without necessarily having any political affiliations have been told to go home under your government. Is it the 24-hour economy you promised us, which meant mass dismissal and termination of appointment? Fellow Kukudais, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that in 2028, victory is coming. In 2028, the New Patriotic Party will win the elections. In 2028, Ghana will see the New Patriotic Party in the helm of affairs. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Very energetic message from the General Secretary. Quick introductions. We also want to acknowledge our father, our uncle. He is a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, former treasurer, and he is the chairman for the National Council of Elders. Our own father, Honorable Hakman Owusu-Agyeman, thank you very much. We thank you very much for coming. Former chairman, former campaign manager, Chairman McMahon, thank you. Former national youth organizer, former national organizer, former general secretary, John Buedu, thank you very much. Former national chairman, Honorable Freddie Wasmer-Wuble, and the longest serving leader in parliament. He was a minority leader, he became a majority leader. Honorable Osei Che Mensah Bonsu. Honorable Osei Che Mensah Bonsu, thank you very much for gracing this occasion. National Second Vice Chairperson, Madame Rita Talata Sobaya is here. National Third Vice Chairperson, Alhaj Masawudu. Chairman Buga. Chairman, thank you very much for coming. National Nasara Coordinator is here, Alhaj Aziz Futa. And again, the National Youth Organizer, Salam Mustafa, is also here. Kate Jamfua is the National Women's Organizer. National Treasurer just delivered his report. Again, before I call on the next speaker, let me acknowledge the leadership in Parliament. They are doing an excellent work in Parliament. Led by the Osahene Alexander Afenyo-Markin, we have the Deputy Minority Leader as our own mother, Honorable Patricia Apeje, MP Asoka. Chief Whip, MP in Sanwom, is also Honorable Frank Ano Dompre. Deputy Chief Whips, Honorable Habib Idrisu Tolon and Jerry Ahmed Shaibu Weja. On that note, let me welcome our leader in Parliament, the leader of the mighty minority, the man who is doing so well, the young man making waves, Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, to give us a message from our Parliament. Honorable Kwamina Afenyo-Markin, you are welcome to deliver a statement from our Parliament. Anyongle male jata, jata ela o fiade, ela o la o side, o malo, o malo, o malo, o malo, o malo. Anyongle male jata, jata ela o fiade. Ela o side o malo. Acting National Chairman of our great party, Your Excellency President John Agyapong Kufuor, Your Excellency former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Your Excellency former Vice President and former flag bearer of our party, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, and your dear spouse, our respected former colleague, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe, and former running mate of our dear party, members of the Diplomatic Corps, national executives of our great party, distinguished members of the Council of Elders, Second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, colleagues in leadership, honorable mighty minority members of Parliament, regional executives, constituency executives, distinguished delegates, representatives from our external branches, fellow patriots, members of TESCON, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. Let us recall the piercing wisdom of our revered former President John Agyapong Kufuor. It is better to be a cleaner in a party in power than the General Secretary of a party in opposition. These words echo with urgency today as we gather in the shadow of our 2024 defeat. A loss that stings not because we failed, but because Ghana is now paying the price for trusting the NDC's hollow promises. Barely months into their tenure, the NDC's betrayal is glaring. New levies on fuel have spiked pump prices, crushing ordinary Ghanaians. Their pledge to end Galamsey has collapsed into chaos. The president calls it a national emergency, yet refuses to declare a state of emergency. Their vow to reset our nation
has become a brazen assault on our judiciary, starting with the shameful vilification of our Chief Justice. Their promise of change, a sham, with schemes afoot to funnel our mineral wealth to their cronies. Worst of all, the questionable Ablekumanobri run, where NDC-affiliated thugs attacked our candidates, Nana Ekwe-Afriye, former MP Hawa Kumsin, and General
better. Our 2024 loss exposed our cracks, internal rifts, faltering resolve, and a message that didn't connect. Yet this defeat is not our end. It is our crucible, fortifying us for the battles ahead. You must channel this movement into a movement of renewal, turning pain into purpose. Let me share a story that should humble all of us. In 2005, a democratically elected leader stood at the gate of American embassy in New Delhi, holding a valid passport, but facing an insurmountable barrier. The United States had denied Narendra Modi a visa, not for any criminal conviction, but because the world had judged him guilty. Imagine that moment of profound isolation. Here was a man who had won the trust of millions.
The nation was complete. The path forward seemed impossible. But Modi made a choice that day that would define not his future, but the destiny of his party and some 1.5 billion people. Today, that same man commands audience at the G20.
Public and address our parliament, stating, true democracy promotes discussions and debate. It unites people. It supports dignity and promotes human rights. I couldn't agree more. Modi's journey from global pariah to world statesman offers us, the NPP, a roadmap from our current wilderness to future victory. Modi's resurrection began with a revolutionary principle. In a nation fractured by castes, religious, ethnic, and linguistic differences, he declared, all the citizens, all the voters are my countrymen. Fellow patriots, look around us this very afternoon. Look at the divisions that have sprouted like weeds since our defeat. We cannot, we must not allow 2024 to become the year that destroyed the NPP. From this moment, we speak with one voice. We move with one resolve. We are not Achim, Ashanti, Fante, Mamprushi, Gonja, Gan, or Ewe. We are NPP. These values are not foreign to us. They are our foundation. Buzia believed in service before self. Dankwa championed dignity through opportunity. Dombo sacrificed his leadership rights and fought for performance over promises. We have not lost our way because we forgot our policies. We have lost our way because we abandoned our principles. Modi's political resurrection was built on methodical grassroots mobilization. From the mid-1980s onwards, he trekked to villages others ignored, sat with farmers others dismissed, and listened to the dreams others regarded as impossible. Perhaps we became a party talking to itself in Accra. We must become a party of Ghana talking to Ghana. Our constituency executives must master every polling station. Our polling station chairpersons must know every voter. Our electoral area coordinators must understand every community's dreams. Modi's greatest achievement was rebranding not just himself, but India's entire narrative. The country known for poverty became known for possibilities. But this rebranding wasn't cosmetic, it was substantive. We cannot rebrand ourselves through better slogans. We must rebrand ourselves through better results and strong character. This conference marks a pivotal moment in our party's journey. As we gather under the theme, rebuilding together with our values, we are called not only to reflect, but to renew. We are called to look inward and ask ourselves the hard questions. Who are we? What binds us? And where are we going? We are in a season that demands sober reflection, radical unity, and a return to first principles. This is a time of transition, a time when we are repositioning as a party in opposition. It is a time to rebuild, a time to reconnect with our grassroots, to re-express our ideals with clarity, and reconnect to the Ghanaian people with bold new vision for the future. We are at a critical juncture as a party, not because our tradition is broken, but because it is being tested by an electoral defeat, internal tensions, unmet expectations, and the competing ambition of people who want to serve. But let us remind ourselves, ambition must never override party loyalty. Competition must never erode patriotism, and political differences must never poison the well of unity. Dear patriots, every political tradition, every movement that has endured storms and achieved victories has been built on one unshakable foundation: unity. Without unity, we are just individuals with ambition. But with unity, we become a force, a party with direction, discipline, and destiny. Unity does not mean uniformity. It doesn't mean we all agree on everything. It means loyalty to a shared purpose. It means commitment to the flag, the same values, and the same future. The NPP has never been merely a political organization. We are a tradition built on the sweat, sacrifice, and convictions of patriots who came before us. Patriots who believed in liberty, human dignity, the rule of law, and the boundless potential of the Ghanaian people, realized through the active participation of the private sector. These values must be our compass, especially now. For us as a party, the Modi story is instructive. The lesson for us is simple. It is possible to rebuild, and leadership is empty without a united party. Like the BJP, we have known both power and opposition. We have faced criticism and internal differences. But unity is the absence of is not the absence of disagreement. It is a decision to prioritize collective strength over individual ambition. If we are to reclaim our position of leadership and trust, we must first reclaim the spirit of unity, discipline, and shared purpose that build this party. We must reconnect with the base, re-engage the grassroots, and rise together, not as isolated contenders, but as a unified movement driven by conviction and clarity. Like the BJP, our party too must rediscover the principle and the ethos that define our founding fathers. We must rebuild, yes, but not as a scattered stones. We must rebuild together, brick by brick. anchored in our values and in the unshakable belief that no individual is bigger than the NPP. That belief must reflect our tone, our language, our strategy, and most importantly, in our posture towards one another. Internal discord, suspicions, and disunity have cost us. We must learn from our losses, and we must do so quickly. And I ask again, what are our values? Our party, guided by the enduring motto, development in freedom, stands for democratic accountability, the rule of law, free enterprise, and national self-confidence. Rooted in the Dankwa Dombo Buzia tradition, we are inspired by a deep sense of perseverance, resilience, and an unyielding faith in Ghana's manifest destiny as a free, just, and prosperous society of opportunities. We believe in building a nation where every Ghanaian, regardless of the circumstance of birth, gender, ethnicity, or religion, must be offered the chance to rise through merit, effort, and enterprise. Our vision of a property-owning democracy has evolved beyond land or housing to mean giving every citizen a stake in national progress through education, healthcare, financial inclusion, and decent jobs. Every child and youth must be equipped with the skills, values, confidence, and opportunity to be entrepreneurial or to climb the professional career ladder. From rural development and bold social interventions to industrialization, the NPP remains committed to inclusive growth, law and order, and empowering all Ghanaians to shape their own destinies in a free society. We believe in inclusive growth that lifts farmers, teachers, traders, and students together. We stand for law and order, the bedrock of peace and progress. We uphold democratic accountability where leaders serve, not rule. Because in this party, we believe Ghana's greatness lies in the hands of her people. Your sweat, your courage, and your dreams. In freedom, you, the Ghanaian, are the author of your destiny. This is our covenant. They are the binding principles of the NPP. The NPP has never been a party of despair. We are a party of destiny. But that destiny will slip from our hands if we allow disunity, bitterness, anger, and self-interest to consume us. Let us end the hate campaigns and the subtle sabotage. It is time to choose unity over evil and party over self. If we fight one another, we will end up falling together. But if we fight for one another, we shall rise together. We have known victory and defeat. We've made mistakes, but we are not a broken party. We are only a battle-tested party. We must not allow current challenges to blur our vision or break our ranks. Yes, we have differences. Yes, we've made mistakes, but we must never forget we are what we stand for and where we are going. Let this be a reminder. No matter how talented a leader is, they are nothing without a united, disciplined, and visionary party behind them. That symbiosis, leader and party rising together, it's what we must seek to achieve. No individual can make it alone. Everyone needs the party. Since the NDC government assumed office in January, we've witnessed a very disturbing development. Intimidation of our party members and a dangerous trend of persecution of our leaders and supporters. These attacks are not random. They are strategic attempts to weaken us, but they will fail. They will fail because our response will be unity. Our motto moving forward from today should be touch one, touch all. When one of us is touched, all of us must rise. We are one family, and the strength of our family is its loyalty in crisis. If we choose unity over ego, purpose over personal ambition, no force can ever stop us in 2028. When we are united, no external force can divide us. But when we are divided, even our strength can be used against us. Rebuilding does not mean avoiding or overlooking our differences. It means confronting them with maturity. It means refusing to let factions become permanent fractures. It means calling each other back to the center, the core which brought us this far. Your servant in Parliament hereby assure you through me that the NPP caucus remains resolute. We are not retreating. We are strong, united and committed to the values and ideologies of our party. We shall continue to defend the legacy of our party in Parliament, hold governments accountable, and show the Ghanaian people that we remain the better alternative. To our aspiring candidates, let this be a season of sober reflection. There is room for all of us at the table, but there is no room for selfish ambition. Let us rise above the temptation to win at all costs and choose instead to serve at all costs. Delegates, the future of our party rests in the choices we make today. Let us choose unity over division. Let us all rally around our elected leaders and reignite hope among our base. To our grassroots, you are the lifeblood of this great tradition. Your sacrifices, your patience, and unwavering loyalty have kept us afloat in seasons of triumph and in valleys of loss. And so to you, I say, hold on, do not lose hope. We shall rise again. The elephant has only stumbled. It has not been defeated. You have never given up on us, and we, your servants in Parliament, will never give up on you either. And to our youth, you form the majority, and your energy, your voice, and your ideas are not just welcome, they are essential. TESCOM, this is your moment. Stay grounded to our values. Stay focused on the bigger picture. Know that the future of this party belongs to you, the TESCOM youth, and our youth scattered all over the country. Learn from the elders in Parliament. Don't insult them. Engage them. Absorb their wisdom and grow with a strong conviction of our party and what it stands for. That way, you can also lead with clarity, build with purpose, and sustain the NPP legacy that has been entrusted to you. It is time to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. Yes, we lost 2024 elections in a big way, but let us be clear. This was not a defeat born out of failure. It was a perfect storm of adversity no government in the Fourth Republic has ever had. From the banking crisis that threatened to collapse our financial system, which we spent billions fixing, restoring confidence and stability, to the global COVID-19 pandemic that brought the world to its knees. Then came the Russia-Ukraine war, unleashing the harshest cost of living crisis in generation. And through it all, we governed with a hung parliament and an opposition speaker. No government in our democratic history faced this scale of compounded crisis. Yet, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the driving seat, we held the line. We do not downplay the struggle the Ghanaian people had to endure, but we should commend them because it was a sacrifices day, including the bondholders made, which led to the big economic recovery we started witnessing from early 2024. We endured, the people endured, and still we delivered. That was leadership, tested best in major crisis. We should not be shy of the mighty gains we made under very difficult circumstances under Nana Akufo-Addo. We fixed the crisis and handed over an economy with stronger GDP growth than what we inherited in 2017. We built historic levels of gold and foreign exchange reserves the current administration is now relying on to prop up the city and support the economy. We created jobs. We built more roads than any government in 8 years span and implemented free SHS, a globally unprecedented feat in a country where most students are boarders. We industrialized like never before, from 1D, 1F and industrial parks to an emerging automotive sector that positions Ghana as a manufacturing hub of Africa's single market. We expanded health infrastructure, revitalized agriculture, and rolled out STEM so boldly. The STEM education agenda, we successfully rolled it out to equip our youth with skills for the jobs of tomorrow. Thanks to Matthew Opoku Prempeh and Dr. Educhum. We set Ghana on irreversible digitalization path, placing our nation at the forefront of promising digital economy and after. Fellow patriots, rather than feeling sorry for ourselves, let us face the truth. We took the hard, necessary decisions to save this economy. And now, Mohammed's government is taking propaganda credit, reaping where it has not sown when they talk about resetting, where it is its so-called 24-hour economy, the gold board or anything else. They are simply rebranding our achievements and marketing them as their own. Let no one be deceived. The foundation they are standing on was laid by this party, by our sacrifices, by our bold leadership in the face of crisis. So no, this party has no reason to hang its head at all. In closing, I want to reiterate our theme, rebuilding together with our values. It is a charge. It is a call to realign, to renew and to rise together. And we rise again in unity and in the enduring spirit of our party, our great NPP. And I say to all of you, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we fear no evil. Let us go back to our roots. Let us rebuild with courage. Let us reimagine our future. And let us reclaim the spirit that built this party, a spirit of sacrifice, of loyalty, of conviction. We've done it before. We can do it again. And let it be that by the grace of God, we will. God bless us all. God bless the NPP. And God bless our beloved nation, Ghana. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the minority leader, the strong and dynamic Honorable Apenyo Markin. We now listen to a message from our immediate past president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The message is going to be read by a very dynamic lady. She's a two-term MP for Ayawaso West Wugon, the very constituency where this stadium, this beautiful edifice is built. She's been a deputy minister before. She has actually received an honorary doctorate, both in the international and national circles. She has received many awards. She has served the NPP with commitment and dedication. And she's the first female chief of staff in Ghana. Let us welcome with a round of applause our own very honorable Akosia Frema Osei Opari, as she reads a speech on behalf of the immediate past president.
the acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, and the national executives, the former president, His Excellency John Agyapong, the former vice president, Dr. Alhaji Mahamadou Bawumia, and spouse, Hajia Samira Bawumia, the minority leader and members of parliament, members of the National Council and members of the Council of Elders, representatives of political parties present, the diplomatic corps, former ministers of state and other government appointees, regional executives, constituency executives, members of TESCON, members of conference, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I read you the message from His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I feel a profound sense of gratitude for the trust and cooperation conference has shown me from the days of old, and most particularly during my tenure as President of the Republic for 2 consecutive terms. It was a great privilege to serve in that capacity on the ticket of our ever-capable New Patriotic Party. I say ever-capable because of that our non-consecutive periods in government since the 1992 dispensation began, firstly, under President John Agyapong from the 2001 to 2009, and secondly, myself, that is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, from 2017 to 2025. We have, through it all, demonstrated the resilience of our rank and file against challenges and shown without doubt, as our records have proven, that it is always only under the New Patriotic government that Ghana thrives. Today, we gather here at conference as representatives of the teeming mass of party faithfuls across the country to undertake a very important constitutional endeavor. As delegates, it is important to remind ourselves that this crucial representative function for and on behalf of our people transcends being physically present here. Wherever we are from, though we convene here at the University of Ghana, this esteemed institution of learning and history, the acquired sentiments of despair and doubt of the people we are representing today, we most importantly carry their sentiments and expectation and hope. Hope that the key steps we will undertake here will in whole or in part be a formidable effort towards restructuring, rebuilding, and reclaiming the reins of governance of our dear country. And that whilst the path will not always be easy, we will remain deeply proud of the progress made at every step, the lives we touched, and the hope we inspired. Whilst our present situation has been necessitated by circumstances we cannot ignore, I am optimistic through dialogue, mutual understanding, strong commitment to our principles and values, we can rebuild the bridges and restore the unity that has always been our strength. Fellow delegates, conference must reflect what we want all to know that ours is not just a political party, it is a family. And as is typical of every family, we must find ways to reconcile differences and ensure that every member has a place at the table and is up and ready to be counted. We must unleash inherent energy amongst our youth with enough focus on adequate use of our structures like the recently inaugurated Patriotic Institute to empower them and offer them the opportunities to grow. They are no more the future, they are the present. Their energy, innovation, and resilience must be the driving forces behind our progress on this rebuilding journey. Our efforts must be all-inclusive. That is why structures or laws crafted in a bygone era, which notably do not reflect the realities and aspirations of our contemporary existence, must be opened up and critically examined to follow for proper reforms. Severally, I have stated, and today will be no exception, that we must continue to stand firm and united behind the eternally forthright ideals and principles of the Dankwa Dombo Buzia political tradition, which has proven the most suited political tradition on our Ghanaian market. We must make room for belief to replace doubt. For it was out of nothing that our illustrious forebears found purpose in a melting pot of scenic salt pond to bear what has over the years transformed into the formidable political ticket we have in the NPP. Our conduct, therefore, throughout this period will either reinforce the confidence of the Ghanaian people in the NPP or draw them away from us. Accordingly, I wish us all at the National Annual Delegates Conference, I wish you well and hope that the deliberations will be fruitful. May God bless the new Patriotic Party and us all, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our mother, who has made history, the first ever female chief of staff. Thank you very much. Ma Nyame Nhyira. Thank you, Ma Nyame Nhyira. Okay.
Who has the leadership qualities necessary to protect and move forward this extraordinary nation in the next chapter of its progress? Who can lead us to take the next bold steps toward the prosperity and general well-being of every citizen of Ghana? The first focus for those of us in the NPP is 22nd December 2007, when the party's 2008 presidential candidate will be selected by the National Congress. Last week, I completed my nationwide consultation with the rank and file of the party, the renowned water testing exercise, so described by our national chairman. We gathered of all 230 constituents of the country in the upper east region on Sunday, 23rd, 2006.
don't rush, don't stampede, thinking that is the way to find solutions. No, we are dealing with all due respect, very wise electorates. And then, as I said,
thank you very much. Very, very insightful, inspirational messages from our former president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and His Excellency John Agyapong Kufuor. And His Excellency John Agyapong Kufuor. Yada Omoase. Kukudu! Conference. Very soon we are going to the second half, but before we do so, let me take this opportunity to also acknowledge the presence of our former ministers. A lot of them are here. We thank you very much. Our former appointees, MMDCs, CEOs, board chairpersons. Thank you very much. Let me also say that we are live on several television networks. Now, it is time to take a message from the former vice president. It is time to take a message from the former presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. Now let's welcome His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Alhaj Muhammadu Bawumia, to give us his message. Yesu Adifunim over faith and power. NPP, you're betting for him. NPP, you're betting for him. You're Tibia, you're betting one bomb. You're Tibia, you're betting one bomb. Yesu Adifunim over faith and power. Zion Adifunim. We are overcomers. Hosanna! Our strength is in the Lord. The holding our enough.
As I said, the national constitution provides for just 2 terms. You win 1 term, like we won 2000, we stay in power 4 years, then we have to go back to the people. The people give you a chance as president. You come in for another 4 years. 2008, you are finished. The state will thank you and say, sit aside. Just go off the field and allow another person to come in. So the party, along this year, will have to find a successor to Kufuor to use as candidates. But I'm telling you already, because of the good work and goodwill we have built, we have already about 50% of the vote we need to go back to power. We put it aside. That's all. We are going to challenge our opponents for the next 50. But what we have to be careful about is that even as we set for a successor, we must look for somebody who will continue to hold the party together. We mustn't go in for anybody who will divide us, because we by ourselves alone.
Former President J. Kufuor, former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who I'm sure are watching us, the former Chief of Staff, the former Second Lady, my beautiful Samira, members of Parliament, former ministers and former members of Parliament, former MMDCs, our national executives, external members of external branches, regional executives, constituency executives, electoral area coordinators, polling station executives, and representatives of other political parties, fellow Kukrudites. Kukrudu. It is with mixed feelings that I welcome you all to this National Delegates Conference. It is a joy to see the representation of our party from across the country converge once again for conference. I, however, would have wished that we would have been doing so under different circumstances. Yet, still, I am filled with hope that as we reflect and reorganize, we will soon be given the opportunity once again by our countrymen and women to serve and assist in rebuilding and transforming our nation. Kukrudites, the task ahead of us is one that we have to conduct with diligence and measure. In times like this, we should be focused on strengthening our bonds of unity and reinvesting in the ties that bind us. Our foundation and our strength has always been in building a united party. Biafra or Mamprusi, it has not mattered what religion you practice, whether you are a Christian, a Muslim, or a traditional African religious practitioner. It has not mattered whether you are rich or poor, or whether you are formally educated or not. This is why the root of our party resulted from an amalgamation of parties from different parts of Ghana and different interest groups. Let us remind ourselves that the parties that merged to form the United Party included the National Liberation Movement, dominant in Ashanti, the Northern People's Party, representing the Northern Territories, the Muslim Association Party, the Anlo Youth Organization based in the Volta region. Gan Shefimoke represented the Gan interests in Greater Accra region. The Togoland Congress focused on British Togoland interests. The Federation Youth Organization. It is clear, therefore, that the bonds of unity in diversity has been our lifeblood and our foundation. Now more than ever, we must refresh them and desist from any language, character, or actions that divide us. With unity and consistency, we can regain the trust of Ghanaians. If we are fractured and at each other's throats, none of us can cross over and lead us to fulfill this party's purpose. Let me say that tribalism and religious bigotry, from whichever quarters it emanates, pose an existential threat and should have no place in the new patriotic party. We must also be consistent in pursuance of our effort to address not just the challenges within, but more importantly, the challenges that bedevil our motherland. In governance, there are ups and downs. Through the President J. Kufuor and President Nana Akufo-Addo periods, we succeeded at many things with monumental and transformational achievements. Their achievements, these two great presidents, their achievements will stand the test of time. We have also learned useful lessons in how to improve some things in the future. We must remain resolute and consistent in doing the right things again and in applying the lessons the next time. We must ensure that Ghanaians genuinely see the lessons we have learned and are willing to apply the next time round. We shouldn't be shy about them. It is then that our fellow countrymen and women will give us another opportunity to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, an army that wants to win a battle must exercise discipline within its ranks. Too often, when we are yet to choose leaders, indiscipline, unacceptable language, and unpardonable behavior become the order of the day. In the end, when internal competitions are over, the attacks we would have launched on ourselves become fodder and ammunition which our opponents use to attack us. We experienced it in the 2024 campaign, and we should not let it happen again a second time. This is why I call on all Kukrudites to stop internal attacks now. Let's stop the internal attacks now. Let us rather focus on the attempt by the NDC to undermine our democracy and rule of law in trying to remove the Chief Justice. Let us focus on their clear intention to go after the Electoral Commissioner subsequently. Let us focus on the violence and thuggery their hoodlums carried out in the recent Ablekuma election, in full view of the police and cameras. I again call on His Excellency the President to bring the perpetrators to book and to remind them that the elephant never forgets. No matter how long it takes, we will prosecute the perpetrators when we assume office in 2029, inshallah. To the leadership of the party, I ask that you be firm and crack the whip so that discipline is maintained within our ranks. It is with discipline, humility, lessons learned, and the pursuit of a common good for Ghana that we can become the refreshed party we desire. Finally, in all our decisions today and in all our actions towards the reform process, let us be guided by the rule of what is in the best interest of Ghana. At dawn on December 8th, 2024, as I prepared my remarks to concede the election of 2024, my singular focus was on what's in the best interest of Ghana. I am fortified in my heart that as politicians, we should always be guided by what's in the best interest of Ghana at all times. What represents the best example to Ghana's children? What is in Ghana's best interest will always be in the best interest of the NPP. We cannot ever go wrong with that. Let us showcase it more and more as we reflect and rebuild. I have no doubt that notwithstanding the challenges ahead, of which there will be many, if we are united and disciplined and work hard, we will win the 2028 presidential and parliamentary elections by the grace of God. It is still possible. I wish us all a successful annual Delegates Conference. God bless you, God bless the NPP, and God bless our homeland, Ghana. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Applause for the various speakers. Let's applaud all the speakers of today's event. Outstanding, and let's applaud. Let's continue to applaud all our speakers for today. We've been honored today to have received messages from all political parties. From the LPG, we have received messages from the ECPP, we have received messages from the PNC, and we received a well-wished message from the NDC. We have received messages from
honored at the National President and the Christian Democratic Union. Let's continue to applaud all the mandates that we have received. In addition, let us applaud our speakers. Our speakers for today have spoken so well. They have told us all about our values and unity. Let's continue to applaud them. Thank you very much, the first national vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party, who stood in for our national chairman. Thank you very much, the national treasurer. Thank you very much, the general secretary of our great party. Thank you very much, the greater Accra Regional Chairman who welcomed us so graciously. Thank you, Honorable John Timothy, who gave us the opening prayer. Thank you, all of you who have spoken today. Thank you, Excellency Nana Adotaka Abubuadwe, for your message. Thank you, by our first female chief officer, the Honorable Freeman Abutia of
I promise this party that I'm going to do a diligent job.
Presidential hopeful, Agyapong, no nonsense, open sewu, bribe, corruption, embezzlement, they vote for the future, they vote for the future. Presidential hopeful, Agyapong, no nonsense, open sewu, bribe, corruption, embezzlement, they vote for the future, they vote for the future. They say you break it, yeah. Say you break it, yeah.
Delegates,
honorable,
all the grassroots,
Kennedy, say you break it, yeah. Say you break it, yeah.
Delegates, 2024 elections, and Yako Ketua. Say, oh, to Abana. What you ballot paper? She be a Bama, a Comprako, or Henny Kennedy Agyapong, presidential hopeful. Yenny das war, never Tim so. Now only Kunimay, yep, breaking 80 no. Delegates,
Yatumano, honorable, Yatumano, no better,
all the grassroots.
Yatumano, Kennedy, Yatumano, no better, say you break it, yeah. 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 Presidential hopeful, Agyapong, no nonsense, open sewu, bribe, corruption, embezzlement, they vote for the future, they vote for the future. They say you break it, yeah. Say you break it, yeah. Say you break it, yeah. Say you break it, yeah.
Delegates,
Yatumano, honorable, Yatumano, no better, yeah.
All the grassroots.
Yatumano, Kennedy, Yatumano, no better, yeah.
Article 19 is clear. any amendment whatsoever, whatever nature, whatever type, the kind of amendment, can only be effected by this body duly constituted and duly opened. On this note, the General Secretary, in accordance with the provision of the party's constitution, invited proposals for amendment of the party's constitution. After the proposals, again according to the constitution, the General Secretary circulated the proposals to the regional party and the constituency party. The amendment committee, made up of Frank Davis, the chairman, Idi Muhyiddin, the secretary, Honorable Patricia Apiejei, member, Honorable Kojo Opong Nkrumah, member, Honorable Ebenezer Gilbert Nina Nate, also a member, Dr. Antoinette Tibudakun, a member, Honorable Diana Asunabadapa, a member, Dr. Ekuya Amuakon, and our very own Makafui Wanya, Volta Regional Chairman, also a member. Council put in place this committee to receive all of these proposals. At this point, I would invite the Constitutional or the Constitution Amendment Committee to come and guide us through all the motions put together so Council can do the needful. So let me invite the Frank Davis Committee, the Constitutional Amendment Committee, to come before conference, put before conference all motions so that conference will duly decide.
Presidential hopeful, Agyapong.
Presiding Chairman of Conference, the General Secretary of the party, His Excellency Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bawumia, former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, all party faithful, friends of the media, both print and electronic, fellow party representatives, our distinguished elders of this great party, our distinguished delegates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. This obviously is the climax of today's engagement. The 2025 National Annual Delegates Conference of this great party, the New Patriotic Party, NPP. Distinguished party faithful, in keeping with the tradition of the New Patriotic Party and in line with the spirit of the party constitution, the National Council of the party at this meeting on April 16, 2025, constituted a 9-member Constitution Amendment Committee following the submission of the report of the Professor Okoye-led 2024 Election Review Committee. The committee, which was subsequently inaugurated by the National Chairman on April 25, 2025, had the following composition. Dr. Ekwia Amwakun, member. Honorable Ebenezer Gilbert Nina Nate, Dr. Antoinette Tibudakun, Honorable Diana Asonabadapa, Honorable Makafui Wanya, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah Esquire, Honorable Patricia Apiaje, Idi Muhayedin Esquire, Member Secretary, and of course my good self, Frank Davis Esquire, Chairman. The terms of reference of the committee included to identify provisions of the party constitution that require amendments in order to give effect to the recommendations of the Mike Okoye Election Review Committee, to work on the recommendations of the 2021 Constitution Review Committee chaired by Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, to receive proposals from party members and identifiable groups for amendments to the party constitution, to categorize the proposals into various articles and clauses for ease of reference, to make appropriate recommendations to guide the debate at the National Delegates Conference. In line with the party's tradition and the letter and spirit of the party constitution, particularly Article 19, the General Secretary, by a formal communication dated April 25, 2025, requested party members and identifiable groups who wish to propose amendments to the party's constitution to submit their written proposals to the Office of the General Secretary or send same directly to the committee via an email address set out for that purpose. Consequently, the committee received over 300 amendment proposals, both in hard copy and via the official email address. In pursuance of its mandate, the committee critically examined these amendment proposals, considered the Afenyo-Markin-led Constitution Review Committee, as well as the recommendations of the Professor Okoye-led Election Review Committee for Constitutional Reforms. The committee then examined the provisions in the NPP Constitution in respect of which amendments have been proposed and the Constitution as a whole. While streamlining and categorizing the proposed amendments and the various articles and clauses, the committee made recommendations for their acceptance or otherwise. Where appropriate, the committee also made some modifications to ensure coherence and consistency with other constitutional provisions, and more importantly, with the time-tested tradition and aspirations of the party as enshrined in the Constitution. Recommendations made by the committee were informed largely by the totality of the views expressed by the proponents, the underlying principles and traditions of the party, which ought to be respected and protected, while ensuring that the Constitution reflects current socio-political developments of the party in its forward march to advancing the cause of democracy and the rule of law. Fellow delegates, below are the motions formulated by the committee out of the amendment proposals that were submitted to both the General Secretary and committee by party members and identifiable groups for consideration and approval by the National Delegates Conference herein assembled. For the purposes of clarity and to make what we are about to do very distinct without any misunderstanding when we leave here, I'm going to set out the modalities for the run of the motions. I am going to take the motions seriatim from 1 to 56. After I have read out the motions, the justification for the motions will be read by another member of the committee in the person of Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah Esquire. After the recommendations, the motion will be put to vote, and we are going to have a voice vote. The ayes and the nays. Distinguished fellow delegates, party faithful, if I have your attention at this particular point in time, I would start the exercise in earnest. Motion number 1. To amend Article 1 of the Constitution to include the party's motto, symbol, and colors.
Justification. The absence of the party's motto, symbol, and colors in the Constitution is an obvious omission and ought to be rectified. The party's motto, symbol, and colors must find expression in the party's constitution.
Fellow delegates, those in favor of motion number 1, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 2, Article 3(7). Amend Article 3(7) of the Constitution to give the power to recommend suspension of a member or an office holder pending disciplinary action against him to the appropriate disciplinary committee rather than the executive committee.
Justification. The amendment is necessary to ensure justified suspension of party executives, either elected or appointed by executive committees, only upon recommendation by the disciplinary committee, pending disciplinary proceedings against such officers. It is the disciplinary committee that shall recommend suspension, having regard to its preliminary findings.
Having heard the motion loudly and the justification, distinguished delegates, those in favor of motion number 2, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 3, amend Article 437. Amend Article 437 of the Constitution to allow for a complaint against any constituency or regional officer, whether elected or appointed, to be filed at 1 in the case of the constituency officer, the regional executive committee, and 2 in the case of the regional officer, the national executive committee.
Justification. The amendment seeks to achieve fair and equal treatment or handling of disciplinary matters involving elected officers and appointed officers who are at the same level of the party by providing that they should be dealt with by the same disciplinary committee.
Having heard motion number 3, distinguished delegates, those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 4. Amend Article 5(6). Amend Article 5(6) of the Constitution to adopt the Electoral Commission of Ghana's demarcation and cluster of electoral areas.
Chairman, the justification is as follows. The EC's electoral area systems are predetermined, bereft of controversies, and involve more polling stations than the party's demarcations of electoral area. The current provision in the party's constitution is that where polling stations under an electoral area exceed 10, an additional electoral area may be created. This lack of certainty and exactitude has triggered misunderstandings in the creation of some electoral areas. The adoption of the EC's electoral area system cures any such misunderstanding or perceived mischief.
Motion number 4. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 5. Article 6. I must say at this stage that this is a new provision. Amend Article 6 of the Constitution to provide for an electoral area executive committee structure made up of 5 members who shall all be elected, comprising the electoral area chairperson, secretary, organizer, communications officer, and electoral affairs officer.
The justification is as follows, Chairman. The current system requires limited expansion to allow for increased participation and support in the management of the electoral areas. A 5-member committee enhances operational capacity and ensures a more inclusive and structured approach to supervising polling station activities.
Distinguished delegates, those in favor of motion number 5, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 6. Amend Article 6(1) of the Constitution to increase the polling station executives from 5 to 7, who are all to be elected, comprising the chairperson, secretary, organizer, women's organizer, youth organizer, communications officer, and electoral affairs officer.
Chairman of Conference, this committee respectfully recommends the one-man, one-vote system as a long-term electoral framework for the party.
In the absence of the foundational structures for the one-man, one-vote electoral system, the proposed limited expansion, which, if approved, will represent a 40% increase in the Electoral College at the polling station level, is more realistic and manageable. It has the effect of increasing the Electoral College considerably while the party works on the recommended one-man, one-vote system. Respectfully submitted.
I now put the vote. Those in favor of motion number 6, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 7. Amend Articles 6.1, 7.2, 9.1, and 10.7.3 of the Constitution to split or decouple the position of research and electoral affairs officer at the constituency, regional, and national levels of the party.
Chairman, the amendment brings the needed focus and attention to each of the two responsibilities. Also, it is not every researcher who understands electoral matters and vice versa. Therefore, the recommendation is that separating the positions and appointing people with the requisite expertise to occupy the respective positions will inure to the party's benefit.
Those in favor, delegates, motion number 7, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes obviously have it. Motion number 8. Amend Article 7.2 of the Constitution to include the Constituency Research Officer, Electoral Affairs Officer, PWD, that persons with disability coordinator on the Constituency Executive Committee.
Justification. This represents a limited expansion of the Constituency Executive Committee and seeks to promote inclusivity and broader participation in party activities at the constituency level.
Delegates, those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 9. Amend Articles 7.5, 9.2, and 10.7.3 of the Constitution to make communication officers at all levels of the party elected from the polling station, electoral area, constituency, regional, and at the national level. At the national level, the communication officer shall be designated the Director of Communications.
Mr. Chairman, the appointment of communication officers has, in many instances, been fraught with a lot of challenges occasioned by perceptions of favoritism and lack of candor. Making the positions elective will afford the party delegate the opportunity to select persons that they think can best communicate for the party. For the avoidance of doubt, the deputy directors of communications shall remain appointed. Respectfully submitted, Chairman.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 10. Amend Articles 710 and 97 of the Constitution to prevent party officers who get appointed into government from continuing to hold their offices.
Justification. Party officers who are appointed into government should not be allowed to hold dual positions. So long as they have accepted the appointment to serve in government, it is recommended that they focus on their mandate in government and give opportunity for other equally competent party members to occupy their positions in the party. It is also in line with the provisions in Clause 10 of Article 7 and Clause 7 of Article 9, which are intended to ensure that government appointees do not hold constituency, regional, and national executive offices. Chairman, respectfully submitted.
Delegates, those in favor of motion number 10, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 11. Amend Articles 726 and 924 of the Constitution to provide that any vacancy that may occur for whatever reason in the case of the constituency secretary and regional secretary shall automatically be filled by the deputy constituency and deputy regional secretary.
Chairman, the recommendation is as follows. The deputy constituency and deputy regional secretaries, just like the substantive constituency and regional secretaries, are also elected by the same delegates at the same conference. The deputy secretaries should be able to occupy the positions of the substantive secretaries in the absence of the latter. Respectfully submitted.
Delegates, those in favor, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 12. Amend Article 727 of the Constitution to give voting rights to national and regional officers at the constituency delegates conference at the constituency they hail from.
Chairman, the amendment strengthens the connections between these officers and the respective constituencies they hail from, where they may also serve as patrons and source of logistical support. This amendment is also geared towards the proposed limited expansion of the Electoral College, pending the one-man, one-vote system.
Delegates in favor of motion number 12, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 13. Our respected and distinguished delegates, with great respect, shall we have some calm so that we carry out this exercise diligently and faithfully. Thank you. Motion number 13. Amend Article 727, 925, and 10.2 of the Constitution to provide that the party shall hold constituency, regional, and national delegates conferences every 2 years, that is biennially, instead of annually.
Chairman, this amendment looks at holding timely but necessary conferences across all levels of the party. There shall also be sufficient time to hold other equally important conferences within the period before the biennial conference. Where it becomes necessary, an extraordinary delegates conference may be called. Respectfully submitted.
Delegates in favor of motion number 13, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 14. Amend Article 727B of the Constitution to give voting rights to the electoral area executives at the constituency biennial delegates conference.
Chairman, currently, electoral area coordinators and all polling station executives have voting rights at constituency delegate conferences. The proposed electoral area executives, made up of the electoral area coordinator, to be now called electoral area chairperson, and 4 other executives should also have voting rights at the constituency delegates conference. Respectfully submitted.
Those in favor of motion just ably recommended, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 15. Amend Articles 729 and 927 of the Constitution to allow constituency and regional secretaries to present reports on the state of the party at the constituency and regional delegates conference with the prior approval of the constituency and regional executive committee, as the case may be.
Recommendation. Constituency and regional secretaries are the administrative heads of the constituency and regional secretariats of the party, and it is appropriate that they present a report on the state of the party to the constituency and regional party, respectively, to the delegates conference, with prior approval of the constituency and regional executive committee, as the case may be.
Those in favor of motion number 15, say aye. Those in favor against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 16. Amend Articles 729 and 927 of the Constitution to require the statement of accounts to be presented by the constituency and regional treasurers at the constituency and regional delegates conference to have received prior approval of the constituency and regional executive committee, as the case may be.
This amendment allows the constituency and regional executive committees to scrutinize and give a stamp of approval to the statements before they are presented at the delegates conference. Respectfully submitted.
Those in favor, delegates, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 17. Amend Article 7. Let's take it. No, 16. You are shouting 17. No, 17. Motion 17. Delegates, I know you have your booklet. It shows they've read it. And you have also read it. Yes. So permit me to also read it, then you can respond. Thank you very much. Motion number 17. Amend Article 730 of the Constitution to provide that the Regional Executive Committee shall appoint persons other than polling station, electoral area, and constituency officers to supervise polling station and electoral area elections. Delegates in favor say recommendation, sorry.
Dear delegates, please hear the recommendations. The recommendation is that constituencies are directly involved in the compilation of the album for organizing polling station and constituency elections. And therefore, it may be prudent that supervision of these elections be taken to the regional level to absolve it from any conflicting interest. Chairman.
My fellow delegates, those in favor of this motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The nays have it. Yeah. That is the beauty of our democracy. This time, the nays have it. So motion number 17 has suffered a knockdown. Motion number 18. Amend Article 8 of the Constitution to specifically provide that the external branches shall have 3 representatives on the National Executive Committee and 5 representatives on the National Council.
Chairman, the party constitution under Article 8.5 grants the external branches representation at the National Executive and the National Council, but does not indicate the number of representatives they should appoint to serve on these bodies. This amendment brings clarity to the number of representatives the external branches shall have on the National Executive Committee and National Council. Respectfully submitted, Chairman.
Those in favor of motion number 18, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes once again have it. Motion number 19. Amend Articles 8 and 13, 11 of the Constitution to specifically provide that all former and current executives of the external branches shall have voting rights at the presidential primaries.
Chairman, the amendment seeks to extend the Electoral College for the presidential primaries to promote inclusivity and broader participation. This is in line with the proposed limited expansion.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion 20. Amend Articles 8 and 10(2)(f) of the Constitution to specifically provide that all current executives of the external branches shall have voting rights at the National Delegates Conference.
Previously, Chairman, only 12 executives of the external branches were allowed to vote at the National Delegates Conference. This amendment allows all of them to vote, promotes inclusivity and broader participation. The amendment is also in line with the proposed limited expansion.
Those in favor of motion number 20, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Number 21. Amend Article 9 of the Constitution to include Regional Electoral Affairs Officer, Regional Research Officer. At this stage, note the decoupling of the two. Regional Legal Officer, Regional PWD Coordinator, and the Special Duties Officer as part of the Regional Executive Committee.
Chairman, this is in line with the proposed limited expansion of the Regional Executive Committee.
PWD, I explained early on, is persons with disability. Those in favor, delegates say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 22. Amend Article 9(1) of the Constitution to expand the composition of the Regional Executive Committee members to include constituency secretaries.
Constituency secretaries are responsible for all administrative matters at the constituency level, and it is only proper that they are a part of the regional executive committees. Chairman, this is highly recommended.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Number 23 is a new provision, Article 9(1). Amend the Constitution by inserting a new provision to create a regional steering committee composed of the regional officers, chairman of the Regional Council of Elders, and regional parliamentary caucus chair.
The proposed amendment aligns with what pertains at the national level, where we have a national steering committee, which is the body in charge of the day-to-day administration of the party at the national level. The regional steering committee shall also be responsible for the day-to-day administration of the party at the regional level. The regional steering committee system shall facilitate decision-making at the regional level. Respectfully submitted.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 24. Amend Articles 9, 10, 2, and 13 of the Constitution to grant voting rights to the regional and national TESCON coordinators and the TESCON president from each recognized tertiary institution in the country at the regional and national delegates conference, respectively.
Chairman, the regional TESCON coordinators are in charge of coordinating all the activities of TESCON in the various tertiary institutions within the region. It is only proper to grant them voting rights at conference, just like the executives whose activities they coordinate. The same principle applies to the national TESCON coordinators. The specificity on the TESCON president, and not just any representative of TESCON, avoids the usual challenge with validation of the representative from TESCON. Respectfully submitted.
Those in favor, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. 25. Amend Article 10(2) and 13(11) of the Constitution to grant voting rights to the TESCON president, and not a representative from TESCON, from each recognized tertiary institution at the regional and national delegates conference.
Chairman, the specificity on the TESCON president, and not just any representative of TESCON, avoids the usual challenge with validation of the representative from TESCON. Recommended.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 26. Amend Article, this is a new provision, amend Article 10 of the Constitution by inserting a new provision to include the consideration of position papers from sector committees of the party on key developments since the last National Delegates Conference at any current National Delegates Conference.
Chairman of Conference, the proposed amendment allows the National Delegates Conference to not only focus on speeches and election of national officers where necessary, but to also consider and debate reports submitted by the party's sector committees on key national issues and to pass appropriate resolutions on same. Highly recommended, Chairman.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 27. It is also a new provision. Amend Article 10 of the Constitution by inserting a new provision to modify the composition of the sector committees under the National Executive Committee to include both members of Parliament and non-members of Parliament, as well as their functions.
This allows the party to marshal its available best brains to serve on the various sector committees, whether or not they are members of Parliament. Recommended.
Those in favor, delegates, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 28. Amend Articles 10(2)(3)(e) and 13 of the Constitution to make all members of the National Council of Elders delegates at the National Delegates Conference and the presidential primaries.
Chairman, considering the indispensable roles played by the National Council of Elders, they deserve more representation at the party's highest decision-making body. In any case, per Article 16, the membership of the National Council of Elders shall not exceed 30, out of which 15 are already members or delegates to the National Annual Delegates Conference. Motion number 28 is recommended, Chairman.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 29. Amend Article 10(3) of the Constitution to increase the representation of the National Council of Elders on the National Council from 1 to 5 members, including the chairman of the National Council of Elders.
Chairman, the National Council of Elders is the foremost advisory body of the party and therefore ought to be adequately represented at the second highest decision-making body of the party.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Number 30. Amend Article 10(3) of the Constitution to provide for 4 additional standing committees and enable the National Council to create new standing committees as and when the Council deem fit. The new 4 standing committees shall be the Electoral Affairs Committee, Communications Committee, Political Strategy and Policy Committee, and Security and Intelligence Committee.
The proposed additional standing committees to be created are indispensable and crucial in supporting the National Council and, by extension, the entire party to function more effectively. The amendment also grants the National Council the mandate to create additional standing committees as and when necessary.
Delegates in favor of motion number 30, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 31. Amend Article 10(3)(a) of the Constitution to expand the composition of the Finance Committee from 6 to 10 members, in addition to the National Treasurer.
Chairman, this amendment expands the composition of the Finance Committee in order to enhance the effectiveness of the committee.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 32. Amend Article 10(3)(2)(d) of the Constitution to expressly provide that chairpersons of standing committees and directors at the party headquarters shall have voting rights at the National Council and consequently vote in the presidential primaries.
Chairman, this amendment admits chairmen of standing committees and directors at the party headquarters into membership at the National Council with voting rights.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 33. Amend Article 10(3)(4) of the Constitution to include former majority and former minority leaders to the composition of the National Executive Committee and National Council.
The National Executive
Council.
The National Executive to benefit immensely the experiences of persons who have once led the party's parliamentary group as majority or minority leaders. This motion is recommended, Chairman.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 34 is a new provision. Amend Article 10 of the Constitution by inserting a new provision to provide that the National Executive Committee shall, in consultation with the presidential candidate, develop the campaign structure and establish a campaign advisory committee to oversee the campaign team.
Chairman, this amendment deepens the collaboration between party and presidential candidates. Respectfully submit.
The campaign team.
Chairman, this amendment deepens the collaboration and respectfully submit.
Say. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 35 is also a new provision. Amend Article 10 of the Constitution by inserting a new provision to specifically provide that the national chairperson shall at all times be the leader of the party.
Chairman, the proposed amendment affirms the position of the national chairperson as the leader of the party at all material times. Respectfully submitted.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 36. Amend Article 10(5) of the Constitution to specifically provide that the national chairperson shall chair the party's campaign advisory committee.
The national chairperson, as the leader of the party, should chair the party's campaign advisory committee to enhance collaborative work between the party and the campaign.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. Number 37. Amend Article 10(4)(2) of the Constitution to increase the representation of the parliamentary group on the National Executive Committee from 1 to 3, comprising the leader and 2 others, one of whom shall be a woman.
My chairman, the parliamentary group is a critical organ of the party. It is the group that champions the party's policies and agenda in the legislative arm. The amendment seeks to increase the representation of the parliamentary group on the National Executive Committee. This is strongly recommended, Mr. Chairman.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against, say nay. The ayes have it. 38. Amend Articles 10(7)(3) and 10(8) of the Constitution to provide that the National Treasurer shall report to the General Secretary.
Chairman, it is the view that the General Secretary, as the party's Chief Administrative Officer and the Chief Executive Officer of the party, who has superintendence over all officers except the national chairperson and vice chairpersons, should exercise superintendence over the national treasurer. The amendment aligns with the administrative structure of the party.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 39. Amend Article 10(10) of the Constitution to remove the President from the composition of the National Steering Committee of the National Executive Committee.
The steering committee of the party is in charge of the day-to-day administration of the party and should comprise only the 10 elected officers, the presidential candidate, the parliamentary leader, and the chairman of the National Council of Elders.
Delegates in favor of motion number 39, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Motion number 40, amend Article 11 of the Constitution to specifically include a provision that allows the Constituency Executive Committee to remove a polling station or electoral officer from office with the prior approval of the Regional Executive Committee upon receipt of a petition from a member.
Chairman, the current Constitution has no provision on how polling station and electoral area officers may be removed from office. This new provision clarifies this. Respectfully submitted.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 41. Amend Article 11 of the Constitution to include a provision requiring the need for the body to be constituted by the Executive Committee to recommend removal before the summoning of an extraordinary delegates conference for the purpose of removing an elected officer from office and for specific timelines for the removal process of such elected officer.
Chairman, this amendment brings clarity in the removal of officers and avoids the convening of an extraordinary delegates conference without recommendation from the body constituted by the executive committee.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 42. Amend Article 11.7 of the Constitution to explicitly provide guidelines and procedure for the removal from office of an appointed officer or executive to be done by the relevant executive committee with prior approval of the immediately higher executive committee.
This amendment, Chairman, clarifies the process for removal of appointed officers. Submitted.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 43. That's a new provision. Amend the Constitution by inserting a new provision to provide that national officers, ministers, deputy ministers, CEOs, and other government appointees who fail to contest to become a parliamentary candidate of the party in a constituency with a sitting member of parliament shall resign their positions at least 12 calendar months to the national general elections.
Chairman, this is to ensure fair competition and a level playing field to all prospective aspirants for the position of parliamentary candidate. Recommended.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 44 is a new provision. Amend Articles 12 and 13 of the Constitution and insert a new provision to grant voting rights to former members of Parliament, former parliamentary candidates, former metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives, former ministers, former deputy ministers who are card-bearing members of the party at the parliamentary and presidential primaries.
The amendment seeks to expand the Electoral College for the presidential primaries to promote inclusivity and broader participation and is in line with the proposed limited expansion.
Delegates in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 45 is a new provision. Amend Articles 12 and 13 of the Constitution and insert a new provision to grant voting rights to former constituency executives and former regional executives at the parliamentary and presidential primaries.
The amendment seeks to expand the Electoral College for the presidential primaries to promote inclusivity and broader participation and is in line with the proposed limited expansion.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 46. Amend Article 13(1)(6) of the Constitution to provide that national officers, ministers, deputy ministers, CEOs, and other government appointees who fail to become the presidential candidate of the party shall resign their positions at least 24 months to the national general elections.
This amendment, Chairman, is to ensure fair competition and a level playing field to all prospective aspirants for the flag bearership slot.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 47. Amend Article 1319 of the Constitution to completely abolish and do away with the special electoral college and super delegates system.
Chairman, the special electoral college system, which was introduced in the 2009 constitutional amendment to shortlist aspiring presidential candidates, is believed to have outlived its usefulness. This is recommended, Chairman.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 48. Amend Article 13(4) of the Constitution to provide for the election of a presidential candidate when the party is in government to a date not later than 18 months instead of 11 months before the national general elections.
Chairman, this amendment, if approved, will give the party's presidential candidate an extra 7 months to campaign before the general elections. Submitted.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 49. Amend Article 1311 to grant voting rights to 5 members of the Constituency Council of Elders and 10 members of the Regional Council of Elders at the presidential primaries.
These constituency and regional elders are members of the constituency and regional delegates conference respectively. Polling station and electoral area executives who form part of the delegates to the constituency conference have been given voting rights at the presidential primaries. The exclusion of the elders is an omission which should be rectified. Respectfully submitted.
Motion number 50. Amend Article 1311 of the Constitution to include 30 national patrons and all members of the National Council of Elders to be part of the presidential primaries.
The National Council of Elders is the foremost advisory body of the party and therefore ought to be adequately represented at the second highest decision-making body of the party. The national patrons also occupy an important position in the party structure. The expansion of their members in the presidential primaries is therefore appropriate. Respectfully recommended.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. 51. Amend Article 1311 to grant voting rights to 5 constituency patrons and 10 regional patrons at the presidential primaries.
These constituency and regional patrons are members of the constituency and regional delegates conference respectively. Polling station and electoral area executives who form part of the delegates to the constituency conference have been given voting rights at the presidential primaries. The exclusion of the patrons is an omission which should be rectified.
Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 52. Amend Article 1311 to grant voting rights to 1 TESCOM patron from every recognized tertiary institution in the presidential primaries.
52, right? 52.
Chairman, this amendment allows for inclusivity and broader participation. This is in line with the proposed limited expansion.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 53. Amend Article 15(3) of the Constitution to make all female delegates at the National Delegates Conference eligible to vote for the position of National Women Organizer.
Chairman, the current regulations on the election of the National Women Organizer is not inclusive. This amendment, if approved by conference, will allow all female delegates, I repeat, all female delegates, to participate in the election of the National Women's Organizer. Recommended, Chairman.
Delegates in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 54. 54. Delegates, delegates, delegates. Delegates, delegates, delegates. Permit me to read Hello, Muma Kromiyadin. Kromiyadin. 54. Amend Article 15(4) of the Constitution by defining youth in the Constitution to refer to a member of the party who is not above the age of 35 years.
My Chairman, the age limit for youth per all the international conventions and national laws shows that the highest age limit is 35. The UN puts the age bracket between 15 and 24 years, the WHO between 15 and 29, UNICEF between 15 and 24, the ILO between 15 and 24, the African Youth Charter between 15 and 35. In Ghana, the National Youth Authority Act, Act 939, defines a youth as a person between 15 and 35. My Chairman, views on this motion are very divided.
Distinguished delegates of conference, those in favor of motion number 54, say aye. Those against, say no. I will take this vote again. I am going to take this vote again. I am taking this vote again. Delegates in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. Nay! 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 Conference, the nays have it. Meaning we revert to the status quo. which puts the birthing age of youth at not above the age of 40 years. 55. Amend Article 15(4) of the Constitution to make youth delegates at the National Delegates Conference eligible to vote for the position of National Youth Organizer.
Chairman, the current regulations of the election of the National Youth Organizer is not inclusive. This amendment allows all youth delegates, I repeat, all youth delegates, to participate in the election of the National Youth Organizer. Submitted, Chairman.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. Well, the ayes once again have it. Certainly, this is the last motion. 56. Amend Article 15(5)(d)(e) and related provisions that refer to national coordinator at all relevant levels. To refer to the national coordinators as coordinators as Nasara organizers.
Chairman, by the nature of their functions, Nasara coordinators should be referred to as Nasara organizers, just as is done with women and youth organizers.
Presiding Conference Chairman, General Secretary of this great party, before I draw down the curtain on this National Annual Delegates Conference, I'll read.
We didn't vote on this one.
Sorry. Those in favor of motion number 56, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. I will now, for the benefit of conference, read the sunset clause, which is ordinarily referred to as the transitional provisions. And this has been drawn by the Constitution Amendment Committee in line with the existing practice. Whereas the National Council of the party has, pursuant to Article 13(1) of the Constitution, scheduled January 21, 2026 as the date to elect the party's 2028 presidential candidate. The National Annual Delegates Conference has on this day, the 19th day of July 2028, adopted the proposed amendment 2025, adopted the proposed amendment to expand the Electoral College for the election of the party's presidential candidate to include all former members of parliament, all former parliamentary candidates, all former MMDCs, all card-bearing former ministers, all card-bearing former deputy ministers, all former regional executives, all former constituency executives, all former branch executives, all the members of the National Council of Elders, the members of the National Council of Patrons, regional and constituency patrons, regional and constituency elders, and TESCON coordinators. The National Annual Delegates Conference has on this day adopted a proposed amendment to expunge the Special Delegates Electoral College from the Constitution. The term of office holders in the party from polling station to the national level has not expired. I repeat, has not expired. Accordingly, the prospective members who are to be afforded the right to form part of the structured offices at various levels by elections shall have their rights held in abeyance until upon the expiration of the tenure of the incumbent office holders. Now, therefore, it is proposed that for the avoidance of doubt, the effective dates for the new amendments relating to the additions to the polling station executives, electoral area executive committee, constituency executive committee, regional executive committee, and executive committee shall be after the January 31, 2026 presidential primaries. However, as adopted by the National Delegates Conference on this fateful day, and given the fact that the dates of the conduct of the presidential primaries have been set by the Constitution in accordance with the dictates of the Constitution, the provisions pursuant to the new amendments on presidential primaries, that is Article 13, particularly the expunging of the Special Electoral College and the expansion of the Electoral College for the presidential primaries to include former executives, former regional executives, former external branch executives, former members of parliament, former parliamentary candidates, former MMDCs, former card-bearing ministers and deputies, TESCON coordinators, party patrons and elders, shall it take effect immediately. Shall take effect immediately in order to give effect to the decision of the National Council and the National Delegates Conference in respect of the presidential primaries. This motion, which only seeks to bring clarity on the effect of the adoption of these amendments by conference on this day, is hereby moved for the consideration of conference. At this stage, distinguished delegates, those in favor and all in favor of this motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. It is my desirable pleasure at this stage to say to conference that our duties as the Constitution Amendment Committee in respect of today's conference has come to a close. Nonetheless, it is instructive to notify all delegates that the preparatory work for the drafting of the new Constitution or amended Constitution pursuant to the adoption of these elaborate constitutional amendments would begin in due course. We thank you all for the support and cooperation afforded us. God bless all our distinguished delegates. God bless the great NPP party, and God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. And we shall always be bold to defend and resist the oppressor's rule. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, guys. Party we shall win to save Ghana. Thank you very much for your participation. It's been very successful. The Deputy Minority Chief Whip will be here to give us the vote of thanks. Honorable Jerry Ahmed, sorry. Honorable Jerry Ahmed, give us the vote of thanks. Then our third national vice chairman will give us the Muslim closing prayer.
The Honorable Acting National Chairman, distinguished representatives of the former presidents, the former vice president, national executive members, national council members, my respected minority leader, honorable members of parliament, the Constitution Amendment Committee, the Planning Committee, our hard-working delegates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a distinct honor and a privilege to offer the vote of thanks at this landmark gathering of our great party, the New Patriotic Party. On behalf of the organizing team and the entire party leadership, I wish to express our deepest gratitude to all of you for your presence, commitment, and continued dedication to the ideals and progress of the NPP. Let me begin by sincerely thanking the representatives of our former presidents, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency John Agyapong Kufuor, for conveying their messages and solidarity with this conference. Their legacy continues to shape our vision, and we remain grateful for their enduring service to party and country. To our hard-working national executives, we commend your leadership and tireless efforts in steering the affairs of the party with vision and unity. A special appreciation goes to Greater Accra Regional Chairman, Chairman Divine Otu Agohom. We thank you very much for the warm welcome and the excellent coordination of this conference. Permit me to also extend a special commendation to the Constitution Amendment Committee and the National Planning Committee for their exemplary dedication and impactful work. Your contributions have been very good, and we are extremely grateful. We are also thankful to our invited guests, fraternal parties, and all stakeholders whose presence has added great value to this conference. To our gallant members of parliament, regional and constituency executives, polling station executives, TESCON, and the Youth and Women's Wing, your energy, loyalty, and commitment are the heartbeat of our party. Thank you for your service. Let me also acknowledge the protocol, security, media, health, and logistical teams who have worked diligently behind the scenes to make this event seamless and successful. As we live here, may we be reminded that the strength of our party lies in our unity, our resolve, and our shared purpose to build a better Ghana for all. Once again, thank you all for making today a memorable success. May God bless the New Patriotic Party. May God bless our great nation, Ghana. Thank you all, and have a safe journey back home. Thank you.